Hi, I'm John Stacy, and let's talk for a few minutes about Gawain and the Green Knight. Now, this is an absolutely wonderful story. It was written hundreds of years after Beowulf. It's even in a different language, really, than Beowulf. Beowulf was in Old English, Wait we gardena in Gerdagon thrum Seninga. It was translated for us into modern English. Now we have a story which is written after hundreds of years, actually, after the Norman invasion of England, and after the language has become half Germanic and half Latin French, on its way to being modern English, but not so yet. The story was written about by someone that we call the Pearl Poet, because he wrote another work called The Pearl. We don't know his name. And it was written in a dialect from Wessex in England, and at the same time, while this was being written, Chaucer was busily writing the Canterbury Tales outside of London, or probably in London also. Okay, this story is probably like nothing else you've ever read. It's one of the Arthurian romances, part of the matter of Arthur. And as we probably know, the stories of Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table at Camelot usually involved the deeds of some brave knight and how they triumph over adversity as they seek the Holy Grail. Now, this story is a quest story also, and well, as we see, let's just talk about the very first section of it. We have the King Arthur and his court are at Camelot at Christmastide, at Yuletide. And they're all dressed up, and they're eating, and they're drinking, and having a wonderful time, and telling one another tales of their great feats, when into the hall rides on a horseback into the king's feasting hall. And this is not medieval. This is high medieval. I mean, these people are in really fabulous clothes here. They're not wearing furs, and this is a sophisticated court, as pictured of the early Renaissance, actually. And they're interrupted when this giant of a man rides in on a green horse called Gringolet. And not only is the horse green, but he is green. His armor is green. His face is green. His beard is green. He is ho ho ho, the Green Giant. He's a big man. Maybe not quite as big as Grendel, but on his way. And he addresses Arthur and the court and issues a challenge to them, and they're just astonished, open-mouthed. And the challenge is this: he says, "I didn't come here to fight you. As a matter of fact, what I propose," in his deep rumbling voice from deep in his green monster giant voice, is what I propose is that take this axe, one of you, and give me the best blow that you can. But having done so, you must agree to withstand the same blow in return." And everyone backs off from that idea. No, thank you. I'm eating my pheasant here. But one knight, one young knight, he's one of the youngest, and he thinks the most unworthy of knights, of Gawain's, actually of Arthur's nephews, says that, "I'll do it. Sir, if it's all right with you, sire, all right with the king and the rest of the court, I will accept this challenge on behalf of Camelot." And everyone says, "Okay, go ahead." Basically, go ahead, kid. And so the Green Knight hands young Gawain this enormous axe. And Gawain takes his stance. The Green Knight, just a moment, takes his green headlocks, throws them forward, bares his green neck. The young knight pulls back the blade and brings it down with all of his young might and knocks the giant's head, cuts it, cleaves it straight off so that it drops to the ground. The head drops to the ground and rolls to the feet of these lords and ladies who are trying to kick it out of their way. And there's a little bit of relief because now they can get on with the feast. I mean, this thing has been taken care of, except that the body takes several steps forward, picks up the head by its locks of hair, remounts the horse, and holds the head out to them. And the head speaks, and it says this on line 445. It says, "For the head in his hand he holds right up toward the first on the dais, directs he the face, and it lifted up its lids, and looked with wide eyes, and said as much with its mouth as now ye may hear. Sir Gawain, forget not to go as agreed, and cease not to seek me, till me, sir, you find, as you promised, in the presence of these proud knights, to the green chapel come. I charge you to take such a blow, such a dint as you have dealt, and have well deserved that your neck should have a knock on New Year's morn." Well, we hear that alliteration, which was also true of Beowulf a few hundred years before. Even in the modern translation, they're trying to preserve the feel of those repeated sounds. Okay, so Gawain is supposed to follow the Green Knight to not at the moment, but only he's supposed to go out and seek the Green Knight at some place called the Green Chapel. And when he gets there, he's supposed to receive back this blow that he gave the Green Knight, and which cut the Green Knight's head off. Well, Gawain's head probably doesn't speak once it's detached from the body. So, what's he to do? Is he what I would do, which is move to the next county and change my name and decide I didn't want to be a knight after all? Or does he, as the youngest, and he thinks the most unworthy of the knights, wait the prescribed time, which is a year and a day, and go out on a quest? And the quest is to find the Green Chapel, to find the Green Knight, instead of the Holy Grail, and to there offer himself up for a blow just as the one that he gave the Green Knight. Well, we know what the answer is. This is a Knight of the Round Table. He's given his word. He said what he would do. He said it in front of all of his company. In this story, he is going to go out and find the Green Knight. And he's going to have to journey, as we'll find in the next parts of the story. There's no map to where the Green Chapel is. He's going to have to wend his way and ask along the way through the forest of Wirral, through various forests. And we can actually track this if we take a map of England that shows these locations from where the original Camelot is thought to have been, really in legend, in Wales, on up to the Green Chapel. Well, we're all on our way then, the quest, the year and the day, to find the Green Chapel and to take what the Green Knight has to offer.